2 damn phones. Babylons can't crack the code.
Welcome to B-MoneyTrading. Gonna make this really quick. Set the timer for 5 minutes so that we can make this short and we can all move on with our lives. So with that said, timer starts now, 5 minutes. So this is where I'm at with my trades. There we go. AMD is an old one that I took a loss on. It was after earnings and it tanked, and I held on a day after that, and it still didn't show any signs of wanting to turn around. And so I didn't like having so many tech stocks in my account, and so I decided that this was going to be the one that I dropped, and so I just went ahead and took a loss on it. And so with that said, I'm up for today, but overall for the week I'm down. I think partly some of this was I had 2 options that I ended up taking a loss on. I had a Ford option, it paid out good, made 300% return on it, but the other 2 took a hit on. So like the Ford option I bought for $15 and sold for, I believe it's like 60 or 65. Pull it up really quick and then we're gonna move on and call it a night. So that was my 8 shares. I went ahead and sold that whenever I sold my option. One contract at 60 is what I sold it for. These are the shares that I bought. Where's the contract? There we go, $15. So I bought it for $15 and I ended up selling it for $60. So you do the math, that's a 300% return, which was great. But I will do an option, but only if I see like that there's a great opportunity that's highly in my favor, that I believe is, this is way undervalued, and I've done some technical analysis on it and it's showing things that I want to see prior to taking a contract on it, and I'll do a naked option. I won't do a straddle or iron condor or anything like that. I'll just do a naked option, risking $15, and I believe that I can make at least 30. Basically, make 15, off of it, and it actually paid out higher than I expected, which was great. So with that said, basically, I've diversified my portfolio so that I was able to hold on through the volatility in the market. And so go back and go back. This is where I'm at now. It's great that I ended up in the green today, but overall I'm down. But the thing I'm more excited about is that the SPY is showing signs of a reversal. Tomorrow will give us a better indicator of what it's wanting to do. I want to see it test this 274 and break it, and just even if it just closes right above it, just above 274, because this is a key area, as you can see on my charting that I'm doing. I see it as a key area. So with that said, I'm gonna add to my account tomorrow anywhere from $100 to $200. I added earlier this week, which was kind of breaking one of my rules, but I saw that I was way undervalued, and so I added 4 shares at $24 a share, and show y'all that really quick. $24 a share, 4 shares, total of $95.99, and you can see that if that's all I would owned right now, if I didn't own any shares prior to that, then I'd be up $1.36 per share, which isn't a whole lot, but you can understand it's a small account. I'm having realistic expectations, realistic goals, and part of managing risk is that I take small positions, but I have many different positions that in time add up to be big returns. And so with that said, I'm down $10.72 with 11 shares at an average of $26.33, making up 13.24% of my account right now. So I'll add tomorrow. Doesn't necessarily mean I'll add to any of my positions tomorrow. basically, if I feel like whatever stock's being undervalued, then yeah, I'll go ahead and add to that position. But I also have to keep in mind I don't want it making up too much of my portfolio. The TQQQ makes up close to 25% of my portfolio right now. So more than likely, as much as I want to add on to this, because I still believe it's way undervalued, and that there's a lot of potential to make some money off of it. I still don't want to take that much more risk, because even though as sure as I may be, there's still that possibility of taking a hit. So even though my style of trading may be boring and not very fun to watch on YouTube, this is more for the new trader as well, to help show you how to manage risk. That, you know, a lot of people these past few days have gotten shaken out of their positions. Yeah, I'm still here holding mine and accumulating more. And I know you're like, well, you're down $173 for the week. Believe me, it will pay out. These are undervalued. People are always, people are more than willing to buy once it's peaking, but the deal is being there before everybody else, so that when it's spiking, you're the one selling, not the one buying. And so, with this said, people are saying this is a bear market and yada yada yada. People are always wanting other people to confirm what they think they already know. And basically, from what I've learned, the great traders, the ones that are ahead of the game, they've learned how to place values on things prior to the crowd, prior to everybody else. It's easy to see afterwards. And so for me, I'm placing value on these stocks from my own experience and my own beliefs. And so I believe this will pay out, and I'm still accumulating, adding on positions to these stocks. And once it gets to a certain point, I'll be willing to sell. At one point last week, I was up $170 something dollars, and I was up on every trade. I was in the green on every trade. Right now, I'm only up in one of my trades, which is close to $20, like $17.50, something like that, in Carvana. All the other ones I'm down in, but I was, even though being up at 170 whatever bucks, being up in all these, they still weren't what I believe that they're worth. And so I was still in the phase of accumulating shares, and that's still where I'm at this point. I'm looking at the overall market, and it's, this is, for me, when I see an opportunity to continue to accumulate, maybe once the overall market gets up to this area and starts testing it, I may consider taking some off the table and taking some profit. But prior to I still believe that there's still a lot more potential. So we'll see what happens. But my belief is, though, that these will pay out. So the people that are day trading and taking these losses each day, for whether it's $5, $10, $20, or whatever, and they're continuing to trade like this over the course of the month or 2 months, and have lost who knows how much money. For me, I'm down 173, for the past week, but by the time it's all said and done, a month or 2 months down the road, I'll have been up, X amount of money, and haven't, had any major losses, and be green in my overall account, versus the new day traders that are jumping in, buying these cheap penny stocks and having these one-hit wonders, to where they, have a $200 account, and they buy some penny stock, and somehow it spikes over some BS news or whatever, and so then they double their money, and then only to find that they continue to try and trade like that, and over the course of a week they lose everything that they've made in profit, and it starts to eat away, and now they're in the red. And I know that sounds like I'm hating on them or whatnot, but I'm just being realistic. Unless you're using an outside broker out of the US or have over 25K, the probability of you being successful at day trading with having the PDT rule being enforced upon you is highly unlikely. I think the thing that's most attractive about day trading for most people is the adrenaline, the excitement, the instant gratification, and this is more slow, watch, wait, manage, and really plan and strategize. And so with this, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm managing my risk. Not wanting, as long as the overall market's going up, then I'm good. If one of these comes out with bad news, but the overall market's going up, then yeah, maybe one of these will tank. Hopefully it's one that I have the least amount of shares in, and whatnot. But either way, if one of these comes out with bad news and it starts tanking, and I'm at work, but the overall market's going up, then it's still a possibility of me still ending the day in the green, versus if I had all my money wrapped up in one of these and I'm having to hold it overnight because I've used up all my day trades for the week, and I'm at work, I check my account on my phone and I'm like, holy crap, and do I get out of this or what? And I'll say this and shut it up. I seen it earlier this week on one of the trading groups on Facebook that I watch, and this one person and I've seen it prior to this one person, they were up a little over $100 on a trade, and I think that they had a small account, and they were asking, should I go ahead and take the 90-day restriction and sell this and take the profit, and it was a little over $100, or should I hold it overnight? And they're in fear that obviously like it would go down overnight and after hours and pre-market the next day, that when they were able to sell, that they may only take a $50 gain or something like that. Now that's some serious greed right there alone. I'd be more worried about having to hold on to it being at a loss, but they're thinking about taking a 90-day restriction in order to take profit, which was only $100. And so of course people responded, it's, well, how important is that $100 to you? I would wait until the next day. And so that's what the response was. And for me, I've seen it prior to this, what people have posted, I'm down in this trade, X amount of money, should I go ahead and sell and take the 90-day restriction or not? And so these are the things that just lets you know, and that's where they're at with their trading, and that's okay. Everyone starts with zero knowledge, but trying to be as smart about it as possible as far as learning and pacing yourself is very important. And so anyhow, with that said, my whole point back to this is that I haven't used any day trades. I got 3 of them, and if one of these stocks tanks or 2 of them come out with bad news, and I happen to add on that day to my position, and it gets to the point that I don't want to take any more loss on it, then I can sell. But the probability of it getting that low is not likely, because I'm taking small position sizing. It's not making up a big portion of my account, so it can still drop quite a bit and I'll still be okay and feel okay about it. And if anything, start considering adding on to my position depending on how low it is. Now like the AMD, it reached a point, $42.45 loss, and I don't remember how many shares I had, but it was enough to say, okay, I don't want to take any more loss on this trade. It's not, I held it after earnings and it shot down, and now it's 2 days after earnings and it's not showing any sign of reversal. And I already have quite a few tech stocks in my portfolio. I think it's time to drop this one and go ahead and take what capital I have left in this trade, and apply it to another position of mine, and that's what I did. And then a few days later, that's when I was up in all my trades and was green, and I basically made back that loss and then some. I was up 170 something bucks. So anyhow, with that said, this video is at 15 minutes now, so I need to wrap it up so I can get some sleep. It is 2:20 a.m. and I still have to do all the tagging and titling and the little picture on this video. And since I'm still new to this, it takes me a little bit of time to get that done. So with that said, have a great night. I hope that this has helped somebody. I don't expect it to help everybody, but hopefully it helped at least one new trader. That these are my experiences, my opinion, and this is what works for me, and hopefully you can find something that works for you. And with that said, have a great night, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow morning. See you later.